Good morning, students. This is your PK sir, chemistry sir. Today we are going to start the first chapter of class 9th NCERT textbook. Matter in surrounding. Students, in this chapter we will be discussing your previous knowledge also, which will connect your previous knowledge to the present chapter, which will be helpful also. At the same time, I request you to make your own notes by looking these videos, which will be very helpful at the time of revision. Okay, so I request you to make your own notes. Let's start the journey. Let's start the chapter Matter in our surrounding. Thank you. Hello. So let's start the chapter Matter in our surrounding. Students, before proceeding this chapter, let me discuss three words which are very well known to you. The first word is solid, second word is liquid, and the third word is gas. Now, all of you know about these three words: solid, liquid, gas. Now, if I ask a simple question, what is the combined name? What is the combined name for all these? Solid, liquid, gas. Solid, liquid, gas. So the answer for this question is, a word is matter. Matter is the word which means another simple question: what is matter? What is matter? This is very simple question, but the problem is that what is the definition of matter? What is the definition of matter? Students, a very simple definition of matter is whatever you see around us. Whatever you see around us is called matter. Whatever you see around us is called matter. For example, you can say, what you see: table, you see fan, pen, paper, water, milk. So many things are there, etc. So these are the general examples, common examples of matter. Do you think this definition is sufficient? Means a definition that is whatever you see around us is called matter. Is this definition is sufficient? In this definition, if we add one more example in this list, that is a very important example is air. When we come to this example, then this definition is failed, because we cannot see air. Now, if this definition is not proper in this case, then we have to rethink about our definition. Okay, so the next definition of matter is anything which have anything which have mass and occupy space. Anything which have mass and occupy space is known as matter. Now, if we talk about this definition, all examples are included in this one with very comfort. Okay, so air, although we cannot see air, but since we know that air has mass, air occupy space, somewhere sometime you may see that here another word in place of space, that is volume. No problem, both of these are same things. Okay, so anything which have mass and occupy space is known as matter, space or volume, no problem. Air, now you can say that air is also a matter. Okay, now see, next there are some important things about matter. Although in ancient India we have been talking about Panch Tattva, or in English 5 elements. 5 elements. Panch means 5, Tattva means elements. Now what are these 5 elements or Panch Tattva? One is air, second one is fire, then water, then sky, and the last earth. These are called 5 elements or Panch Tattva. Our ancient philosophers or rishis believed, or ancient philosophers or rishi munis or sagas believed that our body is made up of these 5 elements. Now how this is possible, all these things are not important for us, just that this is Panch Tattva: air, fire, water, sky, earth. Okay, now what is important for us, that is, see students, now if we talk about the study of matter, then there are many important things. That is, now what is matter, how to describe, although we have already defined it, but still there are many things which we need to clarify. So let us start again the new topic, that is, now if we go according to your NCERT book, we will follow strictly NCERT book. In NCERT, the unit 1.1 describes about physical nature of matter. Physical nature of matter. In this chapter and afterward also you will be seeing 2 different words. One is physical, another one is chemical. So what is the meaning of physical word? The word physical means what? See, any property of matter which is related to its appearance, its structure, its construction, color, composition. These things are called its physical properties. Okay, so we will be discussing about physical properties in this chapter many times. Next one is that what is the composition of matter? What is the composition of matter? Composition of matter. What is the composition of matter? Actually, there are two concepts about the composition of matter. There are two concepts. Concept one says that matter is made up of particles. Matter is made up of particles. Means it says that matter has particulate nature. Okay. Now how can you explain this particulate nature? It is very easy. Just you think about the particles of sand, like sand particle. Means this concept, or the believers of this concept says that matter is made up of particles. That's why matter has particulate nature, just like sand particles. Now another concept says, concept number 2, they believe that matter is not present in particles. It is continuous nature. Now how can you describe, or how can you explain this continuous nature? You just consider about any wooden block. You know that wooden block means that is continuous. If you try to cut the wood, any block, again it will be continuous, means there is no particle. Now the important question for us is that which concept has to be followed, concept number 1 or concept number 2. So particulate nature or continuous nature, we can perform one activity which will help us to decide the nature of matter. It is not difficult, it is very easy activity. Just see, just you take one beaker. I think all of you have seen beaker, and in this beaker you take 100 ml of water. After taking 100 ml of water, you make a mark for the level. This is the mark up to which water is filled in. Okay. After making this mark, you need to just put some sugar or salt. If you have sugar, you can try with sugar, or you can try with salt. You need to put sugar or salt in this water and dissolve it. After some time, you will be seeing that initially you see that the level of water has increased, but that is after stirring, after dissolving, the water level becomes again original. Now the question is that where is this salt? Where has gone this salt or this sugar? What is the answer? The answer of this question is very simple. Students, these are the particles of water. Suppose these are the particles of water. In between the particles, space is present. This space is present among the particles of water, and that space has been occupied by salt or sugar particles. Salt or sugar particles. So that is the reason that one in the starting, after adding sugar or salt in water, the level of water in beaker has increased, but after dissolving this, the level again come back from this level to this level. This is the reason that the level of water does not increase in this case. Okay, so what this activity suggests us, the important thing is that there are some space between particles. Okay, now again the question is that what is the size of these particles? If we go for this, then what is the size of these particles? Size of particles of matter. Size of particles of matter. What is the size, or how can we measure the size of particles? This is an important question. Now again, to understand this concept, we need to perform one more activity. This is activity number 1, and now the activity number 2. Activity number 2. Again, whatever activity we have, we are discussing here, all are important for us because these has to be performed in the chemistry lab also. So what is the activity? Just important thing is that take again the same beaker which we have used only once, 100 ml beaker, and take water. This activity is very important, which will explain you the concept that what is the size of particles of matter. Okay, now what is important here, in this 100 ml of water you need to add 2 or 3 grains of potassium permanganate. Student, in chemistry, I tell you one important thing, that whenever you see any chemical, this is a chemical, potassium permanganate is a chemical. So whenever you see any chemical, that time you need to remember its chemical formula also. So potassium permanganate is called KMnO4. K for potassium, manganese, MnO4 means there are 4 atoms of oxygen. Potassium permanganate. Now, after adding this potassium permanganate, in this water. The color of potassium permanganate is pink color. Okay, so after adding this the color of this water becomes pink color. Okay, after dissolving this potassium permanganate, the color of water becomes pink. Now what is the next step? You remove 10 ml of this solution, 10 ml of this solution, and put this 10 ml solution in another beaker where 90 ml of water is present. 90 ml of water is present. So now total is 10 ml from first beaker and 90 ml in second beaker. It becomes 100 ml. Now you see the color of the beaker, color of the solution in the second beaker. That is also pink color. Now if you repeat this 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, then also you will see that the color of water is still pink, although the intensity is changed, the intensity of color is changed, but the color is present there. What this experiment or this activity suggests us that only one crystal of potassium permanganate is made up of millions of tiny particles which are very small in size. The same experiment or the same activity you can also perform with the help of Dettol. All of you know about Dettol. In case of Dettol, you need to check the property smell, physical property of smell. In the previous pages we have discussed about physical properties, so smell is also a physical properties. Okay, now next one is the next unit of your textbook is 1.2, that is characteristics of particles of matter. Characteristics of particles of matter. Now what is the meaning of characteristics? Characteristics means special properties. Now how to find out or how to start? The first point or the first special property of particles of matter is that space between them. Particles of matter have space between them. The particles of matter have space between them. Now already we have done 2 activities. Activity 1 and activity number 2. In these activity we performed that whether we took sugar or salt or potassium permanganate or Dettol, the particles of these things distributed or dissolved evenly in water. Okay, another example of our daily life is, I think all of you know about lemonade, that is called Nimbu Pani. In this case also, whether suppose you have prepared Nimbu Pani or lemonade, and suppose you have prepared 1 liter of lemonade. Now if you taste one drop of lemonade, one drop, only one drop of lemonade, and if you taste 100 ml, is there any change in the taste? No. Whether it is one drop or 100 ml of lemonade, the taste is similar. Why this so? Because in case of lemonade, the space between particles of water has been occupied by salt, sugar, or any other thing, which you like to put in lemonade along with lemon juice. Okay, so these components of lemonade has been dissolved evenly in the water. That's why the taste of one drop or 100 ml is similar. Okay, so all these activities, what does this show? That the particles of matter have enough space between them. What is the conclusion? If in the exam a question is there that how will you prove that particles of matter have space between them, then you need to perform this activity, or you can say activity number 1 or activity number 2. All these are correct. Okay, so what is the conclusion of these activities? That there is space between particles of matter. With the help of this activity, we can prove that there is space between particles. Okay, next point, 1.2.2, movement of particles. Movement of particles. Now, what is the meaning of this movement of particles? Students, it is clear that the particles of matter are always moving. Now, how can you say that this is true? Okay, let us do one activity. Although I think all of you are doing this one, I think most of you are using deo or chant. Or if you believe in God, then sometime at God worship, during God worship, you use scent sticks. Yes. So what happens when you apply deo on your body or scent on your body? What happens? Suppose in the house there are many rooms, and you are also an important member of the house, so you are having one important, suppose you are here, okay, and you applied deo on your body. Okay, now what happens? Suppose here is your younger brother or sister. After some time, she says that yes, you have sprayed deo. Now, how did she came to know that you have applied? See, particles of this deo or scent are moving in all directions. Okay, constantly or continuously they are moving. Constantly or continuously they are moving in all directions. So that is the important thing, that the particles are always moving. particles of matter are always moving. Okay, now one important term is there, that is KE, kinetic energy. I think all of you know about this kinetic energy or this term. In your previous classes you had studied about this one. Kinetic energy means what? Energy possessed by any object due to motion. Now what is motion? Movement, just movement. Now here the particles are moving, it means they have kinetic energy. So this is important, that the particles of any matter have kinetic energy, and this kinetic energy help these particles to move from one place to another place, in all directions, okay. Next, in your textbook one more activity is given there. In that activity is with copper sulfate. Again, students, copper sulfate is a chemical, so you need to remember the formula of this, that is CuSO4. Cu for copper, S for sulfur, O for oxygen, and there are 4 atoms. Copper sulfate. So this activity you can do with copper sulfate, although this is not as important as the previous one, okay. Now the effect of temperature, that is important for us. Effect of temperature on movement of particles. What is the effect of temperature on movement of particles? Students, I think all of you have boiled water. I think all of you have boiled water. See, in the starting the water is not moving, or you can say there is no movement in water. But once the temperature increases, then after some time you see that water is moving vigorously. So what is the meaning of this? That why there is this vigorous movement of water when you increase the temperature of water? Okay, this is because of temperature and kinetic energy are related. When you increase temperature, kinetic energy increases, and because of that increase in kinetic energy, the water molecules also movement of particles. So that is the end of the video. Rest things we will be taking in the next class. Till then, take care. Bye bye.